So several people have requested a little more detail on our garden. So I thought I would give it a try and give a little detail on some things that we have. But the video will probably be shorter than the other ones because it takes a little more time to describe. But one of the first ones we have that we love has been, now we are on Cape Cod, so it is fairly temperate temperature-wise here, even in the wintertime. And we're still able to grow some things that they grow a little further south of here, unlike most of the rest of New England, because we're surrounded by the ocean in the bay. So for instance, we have a Bracken's brown magnolia, which is a southern type magnolia, which has great white flowers that pop out all summer long. And they randomly come out. They don't all come out at once. And one of the really nice features of the Bracken's brown is they have a great leaf, but on the back sides of the leaves, it's a really fuzzy, leathery, kind of a suede, kind of a backing to them, which is really nice because as the tree gets bigger, you get to see that a lot. And we also have uplighting on the tree at night, which really brings out the beauty of the tree. Some other things we have around the patio are a couple of Japanese maples, which we have a lot of. One of the most standout ones is the autumn moon. It's a Shirasawanum Japanese maple, and it always looks as if it is in the early stages of autumn. This part of our garden is in a little bit of sun at the height of summer, but it also fades into more shade as the summer goes on. And this particular one holds its color really well in that situation. So we've had this one going on 13 or 14 years probably, and it's all of maybe 7 feet tall. Right next to it we have the Hyconocloa grasses, which have taken several years to mature to this size. They are all of more than 3 feet across and wide, and we've gotten all of them from probably 2 grasses that we bought 10 years ago, and we've just continued to separate them as time has gone by. In the background we have Leland cypresses in the corner right there, which is specifically there to block the neighbors. Not so beautiful yard. And then we have a couple of cryptomeria there to the radicans, so they can get 30 or 40 feet high and 10 to 15 feet wide, but on the Cape with the sand they tend not to get quite that large. And the radicans are a little slimmer than Yoshino, which is another large variety of Japanese cedar, which is the cryptomeria, which I like a lot better than the arborvitae for its structure. They're very full, and you can prune them a little bit and they fill right back in if a branch breaks off or something like that. Another large tree that we have back here that has become a larger tree is our Elizabeth Magnolia, which is a yellow magnolia, which blooms for an entire month in the springtime and has a really great tough leaf and a great structure. This is another tree that we have uplit at nighttime, so it has great structure. And in the winter time it has really fuzzy, like these are the flowers for next spring already forming, and they have those really fuzzy buds that swell as the winter goes on. So it has great winter interest. And Oddly enough, this year, this particular tree gives you a good example of a flower coming out in the summertime, which we typically has not done. Seems like we have a rogue flower or two coming out this year, but they're beautiful, kind of medium yellow flowers, and there are 1,000 of them. This tree probably now is maybe 18 feet tall, 17, 18 feet tall, and it'll get a little taller, but it seems to have slowed down a little bit at this point for how big it's getting. Some other things we have is Twombly's Red Sentinel Japanese maple. So what we're trying to do between the Elizabeth Magnolia and the Twombly's, it's TW, so it's Twombly's, is a narrow red Japanese maple, Acer palmatum, that is a offshoot of the bloodgood, which most people have, but this particular one has smaller leaves and grows very narrow, so it can grow to 15 feet, somewhere around there, and be only about 5 or 6 feet wide. So it's much narrower. You can keep it much closer to the house. And what we've been trying to do is, from our front yard, between the Elizabeth Magnolia and the Twombly's Red Sentinel, we have been trying to kind of make a little kind of a gateway into the backyard, where you can see the Bracken's brown magnolia in the background, and this is almost going to make a tunnel from the front yard going into the backyard. So that is it for now. Just wanted to put something out there with some narrative to it to see how that would work. All right, that's it for now.